If you filled up your tank recently, you might have noticed the numbers going up and up, which is why some say they're turning to a cheaper option of e-bikes and ditching the pump altogether. Bikers say that one full charge on a bike like this one can take you farther than 1 gallon of gas. The husband's name is Brad Harrison, and he told me that after they didn't let his wife through, U.S. Border Patrol has denied him contact with her for 3 days. New details have come out showing that Burns went to the police about a month ago saying that she was concerned that Asmund was going to kill her. I spoke with the police about this and learned why they say they did everything correctly. This is the entrance of where the residents live, but just about a quarter of a mile away, right up here, is where the proposed gravel pit would be. In the lawsuit, Crumble claims that both companies copied their packaging, but both Crave and Dirty Dough say that that's not the case. If you come to the garden, Bruce and Diana say you can come to the wood box where you can get your own ribbon, where you can then take it and find a spot in the garden to tie a bow. Bruce and Diana say they want to give people the opportunity to send a wish or a prayer to the people in Ukraine. Utah Women and Leadership Project says that 1 in 2 Utah women will experience sexual abuse. So for these 8 women, you can go, you're good, and you're good. These 4 women would be a victim. I met with this Utah woman, and at the scene of the crash, as a total stranger and an EMT herself, she says she immediately got out of the car to go help. She has requested to remain anonymous. She says this tragic experience is now a monumental moment in her life. Health experts say that the COVID-19 virus is sort of like a domino effect. If just one person has the vaccine, they say they have a greater chance to withstand the virus. The plaintiff says one reason she's sharing her story is she hopes it'll give others in similar situations the confidence they need to come forward. Sarah Murphy, Fox 13 News, Utah.
So you would say the culture of the football team is...
It's got a lot to improve on, for sure.
And the culture of the school?
The school doesn't care. They made that very clear. They don't care.
Former USU football player Patrick Maddox is sharing his story.
People want to win games, and they'll do anything to win games and to keep it that way. But that stuff is what I want to address. That needs to stop.
Patrick's friend, USU senior Katrie Flint, settled her lawsuit with the school.
Yeah, I'll have a hard time with it for a long time.
She said she was raped by a USU football player.
I wish that it didn't impact the people in my life the way that it did.
She says the school did nothing.
But I'm just really, really thankful that I had his support, that he was someone that I could count on as like a confidant during that time.
She showed me everything that had happened, and for it to be swept under the rug and not taken seriously once again, it was just disgusting. And as a player, as a man, I couldn't let that slide.
In December 2021, Patrick released recordings from USU football meetings where head coach Blake Anderson and at the time USU chief of police were heard making controversial comments about sexual assault. After releasing the recordings, Patrick said everything changed.
The lawsuit says teammates threatened to come to Patrick's home and assault him if he didn't apologize to head football coach Blake Anderson, and that Anderson told other players to handle Patrick however they saw fit. Patrick left the team in February from the retaliation taken by fellow teammates and coaches against him and the hostile environment they created. He says he stands by his actions.
I knew at the end of the day, if I took those recordings, my football career would probably be done. Like, I knew that going into it. I have no regrets about what I did.
When asked about the lawsuit, school officials said Utah State University is limited in what we can say. But USU does not tolerate sexual misconduct or retaliation for reporting it. USU football, Patrick says, has more to fix.
I had multiple teammates meet with me in private. They told me about disgusting things that teammates had done to people that they love, and they just have to suck it up. And they're still on that football team right now.
His message to all:
why would I do something that I knew was going to end my football career unless there was truth? I didn't betray the team. The reality is the people that are betraying the team are the people in power at this institution.
Sarah Murphy, ATV News.
It's very squeaky, so...
It's kind of squeaky.
exercising, playing games, or doing laundry.
Do you think this is full enough?
Things you might find 17-year-old Sarah Fry doing on a normal day. Like any typical teenager, her mom even has to get her out of bed. But Sarah's routine is a little different.
Well, that's getting so much easier.
Relearning how to sit up and do daily things and roll over to my side and stuff like that. That's been a big change for me.
On July 30th, Sarah and her friends piled into their car to return home after a trip to Bear Lake. With Sarah sitting in the back seat, right behind the passenger seat, they made their way through Logan Canyon, where they were hit head-on by a drunk driver.
Probably every parent's worst nightmare is you get this phone call. We expected her to be home in an hour. And we got a phone call saying she'd been in an accident. And it was a serious accident.
As a family here, we sat around this room and just talked about what, the prospect of losing Sarah, and had to come to terms with that.
Learning about the loss of your legs is news that could shock anyone.
1, 2. Okay.
But the real shock was Sarah's reaction.
I just knew that I would be okay.
It was just amazing. The next thing she said was, "I'm so lucky to have you." There weren't tears. It was incredible, her reaction.
Out to the sides and overhead is the hardest.
Sarah's weeks are filled with tasks like physical therapy or practicing going down ramps. But for every task she's given, she finds a way to roll with it.
The better I get at it, the more fun it becomes.
All throughout the Fry home, hidden behind the hundreds of bears sent from well-wishers for Sarah Barra.
We love you, Sarah. Sarah Strong.
You can find a recurring symbol. A symbol that was Sarah's first communication with her family after surgery. A symbol and an attitude that continues to guide her.
I just feel so much love for all these people, and that's probably another reason why I'm so happy, just because I constantly have people that make me feel loved, and I've learned that I'm not alone and I never will be for the rest of my life.
Sarah Murphy, ATV News. The ripping of chainsaws, cleaning up of branches, and sounds of engines from heavy machines filled campus yesterday as a snowstorm swept through Cache Valley.
We got a freak storm. It wasn't expected to be this much.
I think we've had maybe a week of fall.
Yeah.
Now we have freaking Christmas now.
But with facilities workers sawing tree limbs and picking up the damage.
We had decisions being made about whether or not to cancel classes or delay them, and then we also had cleanup crews.
We're just trying to get all the tree limbs up and everything. It's unsafe for everybody.
The rest of campus was pretty empty. For the first time in 4 years, administration canceled morning classes because of weather.
The power is out in most of Logan, and they canceled class until noon so far.
This is the South Campus Express on Aggie Shuttle. Now this bus, along with the other shuttles, have been running all day. So why haven't classes?
The main reason we canceled the classes was because of the danger to students and employees as they would be walking around campus.
We're just trying to make it so it's safe for everybody.
A decision some students weren't against.
Oh, I was so excited. I rolled over and went back to bed.
With the final branches being tossed and facilities workers wrapping up. Staff members say things are looking good for the coming change of weather.
As long as everybody can just be safe, be careful in their cars, be careful while they're walking around, I think we should be fine.
Sarah Murphy, ATV News.